what are some of the initiatives that you all are taking, especially given that you also work with local governments? So how, does that piece look like? What are the initiatives and what have your experiences been like?
Right. Um, right. So many initiatives that we take fall under the um, three large buckets. One, doing research, understanding the issue in a more nuanced way, or in more depth, so we'll be able to develop solutions better. Second, in terms of creating awareness about politics as a career choice for women and the role of men's allyship in Indian politics. The third is really about convening different stakeholders and trying to advocate for improved status for women in politics. So under the convening vertical, we do a lot of roundtables, bringing in stakeholders from across South Asia, from politicians to researchers to academicians to practitioners, right? And under the research aspect, we try and bring anecdotal instances, into research practice. For example, very recently we conducted a research study where we tracked self-help group women entering politics and what are those mechanisms that are enabling this political empowerment. All over, many of our partners and many grassroots nonprofits have anecdotally seen that many women from self-help groups are entering panchayats, but nobody really studied what is enabling that transition. So we take up such research projects to understand, the enablers and disablers, if there are any, and accordingly we can pitch to governments and other stakeholders that are on the ground to improve the situation. So, and under the vertical of awareness, we take up, we curate stories of inspiring women leaders from across South Asia. We publish annual editions of these stories and try and translate them into local languages. We have in the past translated to Urdu, Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, and we also engage with local nonprofits in India, Bangladesh, Nepal, etc., to you know, to create awareness of these stories. So anybody who is wanting to enter politics can have more role models that are women, right? And yeah, so these are the kind of initiatives that we largely work on at CPM.
Would you say that, in your view, the local governments are accepting of these inclusion efforts and changes that are happening?
Yes, yes, definitely, very much. So it's, starting from 1991, 1992, when 73rd, 74th amendments were introduced, India introduced this quota system for women in local panchayats, right? And now almost 20 states in India have increased that quota from minimum of 33% to a minimum of 50%. So there is that very uh, radical positive shift that has happened in the last 3 decades, and we have also shifted from a situation in the 90s where women who come to politics through quotas were just being proxies of their husbands and male members of the families to them running panchayats and local governments independently. So we have also seen that kind of shift, and research has confirmed that in Indian context. So definitely there is more and more acceptance when it comes to local governments, and um, there are also, I think today close to 1.4 million elected women representatives at local governments. So it is only going to, I think, trickle up the ladder. We have 1.4 million in local governments, but we only have 78 women in Lok Sabha, right? And so all of this population at the grassroots I think would eventually be empowered, or you know, when systems start to change, it will only trickle up across the leadership levels from the local to state and then the national.